When it comes to the gym, nutrition, or just an overall lifestyle change, I feel like we don't discuss building routines, building consistency, and sticking with it. It's an entirely new lifestyle shift, so it's going to be hard. You can't just like throw yourself into it and expect success. So if you're trying to get into the gym, or you've been in the gym and you keep falling out of it, or you can't stick with a routine or stay consistent, this video is for you, because we're going to break down how to plan, how to build routines, how to be successful with an entirely new lifestyle. And I'm gonna try to make this video as simple and straight to the point as possible, because it doesn't have to be so complicated or a bunch of information thrown at you. So split this up into chapters. We're gonna talk about planning, backup plans, tips and tricks, and then how to stay consistent or how to stick with a routine after you build a steady and solid foundation. So let's get into the video.
Hold my hanging on my neck, the bracelet matches a set. My brother name is $10, stop all that back and forth over the net. My mama wish I would've went court.
Let's start with planning. First, you need to build a realistic plan. I feel like a lot of people struggle with this right off the bat. Like the first step is where a lot of you guys do go wrong, because you plan unrealistically and you set unrealistic goals for yourself. So, for example, an unrealistic plan would be you're not going to the gym right now in this moment, you're not eating towards your goals, and you plan to go to the gym 7 days a week right off the bat and eat clean just right off the bat. It's completely unrealistic and you're just throwing yourself into it. You may be able to stick with it for a week or maybe a month, but it's super easy to fall off of an unrealistic plan or get into it and then you're just like, you're completely overwhelmed because you have all these different, you have an entirely new lifestyle switch and you're just deciding to do it next day, right? You need to gradually build up to that kind of plan, right? So what would a realistic plan be for someone who's not eating clean, who's not going to the gym whatsoever right now, right? You would want to aim for the gym maybe 2-3 days a week, just starting out, okay? I know it could be a low ball number at first, but that gets you consistent. And then once you get consistent with going to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, you can build off of that, right? And just add one more day in there, and then add another, and then suddenly you're going every day, and you're like, I don't even remember when I don't remember when this happened, right? It's because you built yourself up to it. So just create a realistic plan. Don't just throw yourself into it, because that's the easiest way to fall off of it or not be consistent. So that to me is like the most important step. Like, be realistic with yourself, be real with yourself. Don't set all these crazy expectations, because it makes it so much harder in the long run. Continuing with the theme of planning, you want to create a workout split, because you don't want to walk into the gym and not know what you're doing. It makes it so much harder to stay consistent and stay on top of it, especially because you don't know what to expect when you walk into the gym or when you're about to start your workout, okay? And also it's just like really distracting, because you're in the gym actively and you're trying to figure out what you're going to do next, and it's very overwhelming. So just try to build a little bit of a plan for yourself. It doesn't have to be anything complex, it just has to go towards your goals, and that's it. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy. Just make sure you have a certain plan and you know what you want to do. And you could even write notes. You could even write how much you're lifting that day and build off of that next week, right? Like, just make sure you have some sort of a plan. Same thing with nutrition. Make sure you're kind of building a little bit of a nutrition plan. Like, how do you want to eat? What do you expect? Do you want to cut out meats? Do you want to cut out dairy? Like, how do you want to eat, and how does this help towards your goals? That's another big issue. If you're not eating or working out towards your goals, you might get to goals that you didn't want to achieve in the first place, and then you feel like you're back at square one, because then you have to rework your plan towards your goals. I've actually been there. I didn't plan properly for my goals, and I did accomplish a certain goal, but I didn't necessarily want that goal. Just make sure you're planning for what you want to accomplish, okay? Because there's so many things you can accomplish in the gym, and it depends if you want it. Like, imagine you grow your legs, but you didn't want to grow your legs, you just wanted to tone up, right? But you were eating a bunch of protein and you kept hitting legs every day, and that's what happens, right? So just make sure you plan properly for your goals. Which, speaking of goals, make sure you have goals, because if you don't have goals, where does your motivation come from? Where does your discipline come from? Where does your consistency come from? Like, you need to have goals, and you need to constantly check up with yourself on these goals and remind yourself of why you're doing this and what you're doing this for, because that will really fuel your motivation, your discipline, and your consistency. An example for goals could be that you want to tone up or grow your glutes, maybe eat healthier so you can feel better. And just writing this down somewhere or just being super aware of this along the way is crucial. Also, check up with yourself on these goals frequently because goals can change. You could wake up one day and decide, okay, I don't think I want this anymore. I think I want to go the other direction with it. And just making sure that you're aware of that, because you might go in a direction that you previously wanted, and then you get there and you're like, okay, well, somewhere along the way I didn't want that. Just make sure you're super aware of your goals and you're constantly checking in, because it fuels your motivation, truly. Let's talk about backup plans, okay? Because we have bad days, we have bad weeks, but having a backup plan in place really, really helps keep you motivated, helps keep you consistent. So on hard days, which we all have them, just have something that keeps you motivated. Like me, for example, I get on Pinterest or I get on TikTok or Instagram and I look at fitness stuff. Like I'll watch a fitness routine or maybe a morning routine, like something to get me motivated because I'm consuming that, like I'm watching it. And it really, like it truly helps me get out of bed, or it helps me go to the gym. Or if you watch like a nutritional video of like a really like good recipe, it makes you want to try it, you know? So just, that's my like personal take on it, but you can have something else that, you know, gets you out of bed on a hard day. Another thing that I recommend is having an alternative workout. So on my hard days, I like to get on the treadmill for like 30 minutes to an hour and just walk on an incline at a certain speed, and that's good enough for me. It's fulfilling for me. I may not want to strength train that day, I may not want to lift weights, right? But that's okay. Like not every day is going to be perfect, but it's about planning for the imperfect days. Now let's talk about some tips and tricks. Picking out your gym clothes the night prior really helps. Like setting everything out, like your water bottle, your gym clothes, your keys with it, whatever you have to do, really helps because you already have it planned. Like in your head, like subconsciously, you're ready to go. Like you're ready to get up the next day and go. Also, create a realistic time to go. If you know you can't go at 5:30 a.m. or 6 a.m. before work or whatever you're doing that day, don't do it. Just don't do it. Like don't start off with that. Try the evening, try something realistic, maybe lunch hour, whatever it takes. Again, don't set an unrealistic goal because you're gonna find yourself in the morning like, okay, maybe just like 10 more minutes, and then you don't end up going. So create a proper time to go when works for you. If you're going early in the morning or just in general, make sure you're getting good rest. Like make sure you're planning to get at least 8 hours of sleep or whatever sleep pattern works for you. If you thrive off 7 hours or thrive off 10 hours, just make sure you're getting that rest. If you're waking up early in the morning to go to the gym or you're going in the evenings, like you want to make sure you're properly energized and you're ready to go. Also, that builds off of not giving yourself any excuses, right? Because you wake up in the morning and your clothes are already picked out, you got a full amount of sleep, like you have no excuse to not go. So don't give yourself any excuses. Like make it harder for yourself to make an excuse. Like, oh, I'll sleep 5 minutes, but why? Because you just got 8 hours of sleep and your clothes are picked out. Like you don't really have to do anything. You just get up and you throw it all on, you walk out the door. Pretty easy, you know? So don't allow yourself any excuses, because honestly, especially if you're going in the morning, we've all been there, your tired brain can literally convince you of anything. Like anything. I don't know how it works, but I can convince myself of anything if I'm tired and I want to sleep. Another tip is to reward yourself. So if you go 2 weeks or a week or a month or 2 months, whatever the case is, maybe once a month, you reward yourself for making it that far, okay? Make it a really good reward. Like make it something you really want, and you can't have it unless you make it there, okay? So that really helps. It keeps you motivated and it keeps you disciplined, especially if it's a good reward, like maybe going shopping or a cheat meal or whatever it is, whatever the case may be. Make sure you have that in place because it really keeps you like on steady track. Another thing is to dedicate a day to planning. I plan on Sundays, but just like planning your week out, blocking your days out for the gym, for work, whatever you're doing, just planning for the week, again, it sets you up for success. Like you can't just plan one time for this entire lifestyle shift and not expect to continue planning. Like you want to change up your meals, you want to change up your workout split, maybe how many reps you're doing or how much you're lifting. Like you want to go in and you want to plan this kind of stuff, because if you're actively focusing on it, you're going to get results from it. It's kind of like where attention goes, energy is going to flow from. You have to give it your attention if you expect to get something out of it, okay? Buying gym clothes really helps. Like I love a good gym fit. Like a cute gym fit really gets me excited because I'm like super excited to get into the gym, take pictures, work out in the fit. Like I'm telling you, like, a good gym outfit, a cute gym outfit goes so much further than you really think, okay? Just saying. So you don't have to get new gym fits, but me personally, I love to buy new gym fits because I get excited when they come and I get excited to wear them. Now let's move on to how to remain consistent, because I think it's already hard enough to build consistency or build a routine, but then keeping it even after like 3 months or even after a year, like it's still easy to fall off of a consistent routine or a pattern, okay? And one bad week can really do it to you. On the days that you don't want to go to the gym or you would rather eat out, be aware of these thoughts and try to aim yourself away from them. Because if you're self-aware of this, it's much easier to talk yourself out of it instead of subconsciously doing what you want. Again, discipline is so key here. Whenever you're feeling like you don't want to go to the gym or you're trying to eat out, have a backup plan in place. Like, for example, having a picture of inspiration or a video, like a motivational video that you watch, really goes so far. Having that in place and just going to watch that video or going to look at those pictures. Like, I have like a Pinterest board that I go to and I look at for motivation. Try that on like the hardest days to get out of bed or to go to the gym. Just look at that and just get motivated. Also, another thing you could do is remind yourself of your goals. For example, looking at those pictures reminds me of my goals, okay? So just make sure you remind yourself of your goals, why you're doing it, like what's your why? Remind yourself of that even on the hard days. Motivation is gonna get you through. Now, not always, sometimes it really just is discipline. So when you're not able to keep yourself motivated, you need to keep yourself disciplined. At some point, you have to throw all the motivation, all the videos, all the pictures out of the window and just say, okay, I'm going, it is what it is, I'm just gonna have to push through it. That is what builds discipline and consistency, is what you choose to do in your worst moments. My last tip, surprisingly, is to take breaks. It's easy to get burnt out. So if you don't take maybe a day or 2 days off, maybe over the weekend, out of the gym, or just to allow yourself to eat freely, eat what you want, eat mindfully, it can really burn you out, especially if you're like in this go mindset. So please take breaks and give yourself a day to decompress and just relax, because you can easily burn out, and that is exactly how you fall off of your routine or your consistency. That's it, basically. Hopefully that was like super quick and to the point, because that was my goal, was to just make this super easy and simple. Like, it doesn't have to be overcomplicated. It really is just about planning. Like, if you take anything from this video, please take the planning. Like, please make sure you're planning for your success. There's this one saying about planning. Hold on. No, I gotta say this. Hold on. Okay. By failing to prepare, you prepare to fail. So please guys, plan. You take anything, any of the tips, any of the tricks that I gave you, please take planning, because planning is gonna get you as far as you can go, as long as you stick with it and as long as you stick with your goals. But that's it for this video, guys. Hopefully I gave you some inspiration, motivation to get back into the gym. And yeah, okay. I will see you guys next video. Thank you so much for watching.